During the Second World War, the need arose to have a strong yet lightweight fabric that was resistant to tearing and ripping for use in parachutes. After a lot of iteration, the iconic block-shaped reinforced weave pattern was created. And of course, I'm talking about Ripstop fabric. I think Ripstop is probably the coolest name for a fabric or textile because not only does it just sound cool by itself, it also describes one of the properties of the fabric, which is kind of weird when you think about it. So today, of course, I want to talk about the Stretch Ripstop Waxed Field Jacket from Flint and Tinder. You're probably familiar with many other Flint and Tinder wax jackets if you've been around the channel a while or if you've been a fan of Huckberry, and their stable of wax jackets continues to grow. And I'm happy to report today that I think they have another winner on their hands. Let's get into it. Okay, first let's talk a little bit about the namesake fabric. So Ripstop was originally a nylon weave because that offered the greatest strength to weight ratio, and that's kind of what they were looking for when you think about making parachutes and other militaristic applications. Nowadays it can be made in a wide range of things. You still see nylons and backpacks and stuff like that, polyester blends, and then what you have today, which is 98% cotton and 2% spandex. Of course, the 2% spandex gives it a little bit of stretch, which if you need it, that's good. If you don't need it, you almost don't even really notice it's there. It's an 8-ounce canvas ripstop weave, and it's waxed for extra water resistance. I don't know what type of wax it is specifically, but I can say it's a more dry feeling wax. It's not tacky like the Flint and Tinder Wax Trucker series or the Rogue Territory Supply line jackets. The interior and the sleeves, thankfully, are both lined with a 4-ounce cotton flannel lining that is quite soft. I appreciate the full sleeve lining because it makes it a lot more comfy and warm to wear if you're just going with a t-shirt. I tend to do that a lot, so I appreciate it. It does come in 2 colors, khaki and the fatigue that I have. At $198 US, it is a full $100 cheaper than the iconic flannel-lined wax trucker that Huckberry also offers. Now, the main difference, which you may have already surmised, is the fact that the flannel-lined wax trucker is made in America, whereas this one is made in China. So as far as quality goes, the few times I've worn this, and the many times I've worn the American-made flannel-lined wax trucker series, I can't see an apparent quality difference, to be completely honest with you. It feels just as well made as the others, and I'm sure it'll probably last just as long, but really only time will tell with that. Now, Huckberry sent me both the medium and the large in this jacket so I could test on the fits and show you guys what it looked like on my body shape. And thankfully, I can report that the medium is the correct size, as I thought it would be. And in fact, it actually is a little bit roomy. So it's easy to layer things, and there's plenty of length, plenty of room, and with the 2% stretch, plenty of room to move your shoulders. So there's really no issues with the fit. With someone my height, of course, there's almost always going to be a sleeve length issue since most manufacturers make things for people between 5'10" and 6 feet tall as far as sleeve length goes. So sleeves are a little bit long, but I'm used to it and it doesn't really bother me that much. Another thing to note is that the large really isn't that much bigger than the medium. There's not a big gap in the sizing like you sometimes get. So if you think the medium might be a little bit snug and you wanted a little extra room, don't feel too bad going up to the large because it's really not too huge of a difference. Another cool thing to note, this has snaps instead of buttons, which I appreciate. I haven't really had too many snap jackets in my life. I'm getting a few more, and I got my first snap Western shirt recently, and I'm really kind of getting into the whole snap thing, so I appreciate that it has snaps. Another feature I really like is the amount of pockets, so both on the outside and you've got inside pockets as well. Pockets are always great, and it adds to that, militaristic style that they're going for, so I think they really knocked it out of the park with the styling of this. It is a little bit longer than a trucker since it's a field jacket. So that helps a little bit more with wind resistance. It's going to cover a little more of your body and going to keep you a little bit warmer in general. And speaking of warmth, I did wear this one time on a day that was just under 30 degrees Fahrenheit, call it 28 degrees. I wore it with a midweight flannel underneath, and I was walking into and out of work, which is a long walk for me from a parking lot to a building. So there was a lot of wind and it was pretty cold. And I got to say that it was kind of iffy. It was kind of sketchy wearing it down to 28 degrees. And I do handle cold fairly well, but I'd be confident saying if you're wearing something like a flannel underneath, you could easily take this down to 35 degrees Fahrenheit. And with a t-shirt, call that 40 or 45 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's not a deep winter coat, but it has a little bit more range than your normal lightweight coats because of the flannel lining. Okay, just wanted to do a quick one today to show this off. So I'm going to keep wearing it around, going to see how it ages, going to put pictures of it on Instagram, maybe do an update on it on the YouTube channel in the future. So if you have any questions, please leave them below and I'd be happy to answer. And I want to thank Huckberry again for sending this my way for a review. Really appreciate that. If you guys want to check it out on their website, I will leave a link in the description below. And that's it. Have a fantastic day.